So, I have been very reluctant to do a video on the divorcing the narcissist, okay? That is because I was personally processing a divorce, and I wanted to give it time to happen. Finally, successfully, I am fully divorced now, so I'm happy. But the guys out there who are thinking about the divorce with a narcissist, there's some things you need to know. First of all, get equipped with information in your country. All countries have got different procedures of how you can actually divorce these individuals. Every country has got their own procedures. So try to get yourself, get information on what is required. And of course, you know that I'm not a lawyer, so you can always find a legal representative who is going to process these things for you in court if you need one. I personally was blessed I didn't need one, because the government has got clear procedures that you can do and you can use, and you can even do it without having to go through lawyers and all that kind of stuff, okay? So get more information depending on which country you're coming from. I'll just give you some enlightenment on the basics that you guys need to understand. First of all, do not expect that individual is going to fund, even participate in the funding of that divorce. There's a very big chance you're going to pay for everything alone, okay? So you don't think so that you're going to sit down with a narcissist and explain how you're going to divorce them. They cannot process that. It can cause them a narcissistic injury. So you do not think it's easy for you to sit down with them and process how you're going to get rid of them. So that kind of procedure, it can cause them, like I've said, a very massive narcissistic injury, and they do not know how to deal with that. Because for them, it's like proof of failure, okay? So you're proving that they have failed that relationship, and you are releasing them and getting them out of your life. That thing can break down a narcissist, a divorce. So that's the reason why you see a lot of times in these courts, people are going in cycles, people are going in circles, up and down. They are running with documents. The narcissist has refused to give the information that the court needs. Even they refuse to appear. Even if they appear, they are going to be full of lies. They are going to put up a show. They are going to, to rage and crying in courts and all that kind of bullshit, So they are going to put up a show when it comes to the divorce. This is the reason why, in my opinion is my opinion. You may have your own. When you have gone through a discard with a narcissist and you have separated, I believe you should first of all prioritize your healing. Your healing is the most important thing, because the divorce will happen, but your healing has got to happen first. So you are supposed to make sure you give yourself time to heal, okay? Process this whole thing, what has been happening, gather evidence, maybe some kind of documentations you might have had in that relationship. It could have been bills you could have been paying, it could have been other different kinds of evidence. Gather all the evidence that you need and put everything together, because I can guarantee you 110%, you are going to need that evidence. But the second thing you have to know, that do not rush. So when you've been separated with a narcissist, do not jump straight away into the divorce, because at that point, you are still going through the pain, okay? There's still this trauma, and you're still trying to break away from the trauma bond. In my own opinion, before divorcing a narcissist, you should first of all focus on breaking, first of all, out of the trauma bond. Because when you break out of the trauma bond, the divorce is not going to impact you as hard as it will when you do it initially in the beginning of the discard, in the beginning stages of the discard. So take your time. Do not be in a rush. Secondly, the other thing which I will give you, another hint which I will give you. Let me say, for example, you guys, of course, the reason why you're going through this process of the divorce is because, of course, you have been initially married to this individual. So what do? You, first of all, get the marriage certificate away from them very quickly. Very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Do not make this mistake. I almost fell for it. Get the marriage certificate away from them as soon as you can, and keep it in a very safe place. Because if a narcissist knows that you are planning to divorce them, they are going to hide that certificate. You understand what I mean? And for them, it doesn't even matter if they're already, up and down with a new supply and into new relationships. They're trying to do all these beautiful things, whatever, making children. They are going to make it difficult. So the first thing what they will do, they are going to hide that marriage certificate. Even sometimes they may burn it, they may throw it away, they may tear it, they may destroy it. And it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult, because the time is going to come when you need that certificate to process the court to do the court proceedings, and it's nowhere to be found. So it may bring you back into the, go back to the marriage office, get the copies and all that. So it's going to delay the process of divorce. Get the certificate and hide it away from them as soon as you can. Secondly, you're gathering evidence. The receipts of the things you used to buy, for example, the bills, the agreements you may have done with the, different banks or different credit companies, the mortgage agreements, everything. Try to make sure that you get a copy of each and everything before you leave. All those documents are going to be needed as proof, because when those people start putting up a show, they may have a lot of things against you, and you may not have the evidence, and they will hide it away from you. So you gather all those evidence and the documents you need, because at one point, every legal representative you get, they're going to ask you for that proof. What else do you need to know? You need to be patient with yourself, like I've said. Do not rush the procedure, and do not rush the process. It will happen, but let it happen at a place whereby you have done some healing on yourself, because like I've said, the pain is going to be very intensive, especially if you're going through the discard. And then, of course, you're supposed to meet the lawyer. You're supposed to go to court, sign some documents. You're supposed to make some phone calls to the narcissist, and in that time, you may be in the process of the no contact, okay? So focus on yourself first before you proceed with the divorce. Myself, like I've said, it has been a very easy and smooth process, because I put out of energy, first of all, in myself to heal. Because when that thing is, when you're divorcing and getting divorced with a narcissist, that thing brings out and it resurrects a lot of wounds that have been accumulated in that entanglement, in that relationship. So it brings back those wounds again and again, and you don't want to experience those wounds. So let the wounds heal first before you run into the divorce process with a narcissist. Very, very important, okay? What else do you need to know when you're divorcing a narcissist? We talked about the evidence, we talked about the healing, and you have got to prepare yourself mentally. Very, very important. You're going to need a lot of mental strength. Ladies and gentlemen, is why maybe sometimes I've emphasized the healing first, because the divorce may also break you down mentally, okay? You're going to be talking about a lot of things. You're going to be talking about the children. You'll be talking about the mortgage. You'll be talking about car finance. You'll be talking about bills. You'll be talking about credits. You may be talking about loans. You may be talking about the hospital appointments you had. You may be talking about a lot of things. So it is going to most likely break you down mentally, because it has been an abusive relationship. There's been a lot of chaos. There's been so much trauma, and there has been so much drama. So prepare yourself mentally, okay? That is also another very important aspect when you're planning and you're preparing yourself for the divorce with the narcissist. So those are the things I can think about in this process when you're planning to divorce a narcissist. I've talked about all the things you need: getting legal representation, getting all the documents, gathering all the evidence that you will need at that point when the time comes. But even if you have all the evidence, and most importantly, getting hold of the marriage certificate and keeping it safely. And I've talked about leaving it first of all. Get out and do the work on yourself first of all to heal, because healing will bring you in a very good mental state whereby you're going to be able to handle that process successfully. It's going to be very smooth when you've done some healing work on yourself. Very, very important. Do the healing work first, and then now, at the end of the day, you can proceed with the legal, with the legal part to carry on and apply for the divorce. But again, like I've said, these people, they're unpredictable. You don't know what they are capable of. You don't know what they want to do. You don't know how they may try to block this process. So you have got to prepare for the worst as well. As much as you're doing it and you know that you've done the work is helping you. But those people, they're unpredictable and you do not know what they're capable of. So make sure that you prepare yourself for the worst as well. There could be a lot of drama. There could be a lot of chaos in that time. You don't know. But also, if you feel, I've always mentioned this thing in my videos, if you feel you are being threatened, even sometimes physically, by those individuals, make sure you get the law enforcement involved. Those are the guys that are going to save you in the very legal way, in the legal system, okay? So until then, guys, let us know what you think. If you have been through a divorce, it would be nice to know and to hear about your experience in the comment section below. Let other people know how you have done the process and how you have succeeded in divorcing the narcissist. Let us know in the comment section below. You guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. It has been basic information because I am not a lawyer. So I'm just giving you the outlines of the things you need to remember and to put into consideration. Until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.